for Bring Your Own Lunch. Personal stories about the business with my daddy, Dave T. Koenig.
All right, come on in, have a seat, welcome. This is the Bring Your Own Lunch podcast of BringYourOwnLunch.com, the magic of iTunes, the majesty of Stitcher, and however you found your way to download this podcast, I thank you. As you heard at the top, my name is Dave T. Koenig. I'm an actor, writer, director, producer, comedian, all-around swell dude. I got a big mouth, at least on Facebook. And of course, I'm the host of the podcast you're listening to right now. BYOL is the hashtag you can use if you want to reach out on social media. Like us on Facebook.com/BringYourOwnLunch. Follow us on Twitter at BYOL Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Bring Your Own Lunch. There's a YouTube page. There's a couple other outlets out there. But if you're really lost and want to know where we are, you can always go to the mothership, if you will, the homepage, the hub, the place where it's at, BringYourOwnLunch.com. You can always send me a personal email, Dave@BringYourOwnLunch.com. Great guest this week, a guy I've wanted to have on for a long time now, Jay Klaitz. He's an actor and musician. He has been seen on Broadway in the shows Rock of Ages, Lend Me a Tenor, High Fidelity. He was in Frozen River. He's been seen in Elementary and Body of Proof and Law & Order, Criminal Intent, Rescue Me. The guy is all over the place. He's got a very healthy commercial career. He actually is the voice of a new campaign for Burger King Radio. And he's just all over the place, and it's such a fun guy to hang around, and I've wanted to have him on the podcast ever since I relaunched this one. He is, I think, the second guest that I've had on this show that we also had on the Commercials Free podcast that you can go back and listen to at thecommercials.tv. But this is a guy, we just kept missing each other, and to know Jay is to know that he's like the wind. He, some say he inspired the song that Patrick Swayze sang all those years ago. Others say that I just made that up. But the thing to know is that Jay is a unique individual, a guy who seems to have zero stress about him, the guy who just enjoys life and doesn't get too bogged down in the details. And so, you know, he's moving around. He's moving around, and to tie him down is a challenge, but one I was grateful to take up, and one that I am glad that I conquered. So I do have Jay on the show this week, and he's a lot of fun. He and I met years ago. We'll get into the day we met. We'll hear about his days studying in Moscow, and we'll hear about the origins of Future Folk and the feature film history of Future Folk that he was heavily involved in as a co-founder of that group, and also the one of the co-stars of that film. And we'll also hear about his affinity for the Squatty Potty. That's a first on this show, so I'm excited to bring that to you. I mentioned I have a big mouth on Facebook. I sometimes have a big mouth anyway. I can sometimes be loud, but as I've gotten older, I have tamed that wild beast. But sometimes I'll just say stuff on Facebook, and I'm not ever offensive. I'm not somebody who likes to make anybody feel bad or to cut anybody down. If anything, I make a joke about myself, and sometimes I find out after the fact that the message received is not necessarily the same as the message delivered. Case in point, I had this little twinge in my back over the past few days, maybe a week, and it's on the lower left side of my body, and it's enough to make me obviously seem like I'm in pain, and I'm not somebody who ignores pain like that, but I kind of have like a high tolerance for pain, so I don't make a big deal about it. And I was talking about it with my wife, and she said, well, it's maybe worth, just keeping an eye on, and maybe eventually should go to the doctor. It could be kidney stones. Now, I know from hearing others experience that is a painful thing to go through, and I'm hoping it isn't. There's that slight hypochondriac part of me that thinks, oh, yeah, I probably have that. And then there's the stubborn guy thing that says, I don't have anything, I'm just going to ignore it. And then there's that comedian inside me that says, the best thing we do is just make a joke about this on Facebook. So I posted on Facebook, and I'm roughly quoting here myself, if it does turn out that I do have stones, I hope it's their earlier work. Now, that was the joke. Hopefully you understood that. I don't want to have to explain that. But that's the essence of the joke. I was making fun of my own pain in a funny way. It's something I usually do when I get on Facebook and I have a random thought in my head. I figured maybe 3 people would read that, and maybe one of them would find it mildly amusing, and the other 2 would just ignore it. But unfortunately, for me, it turns out people were honestly and genuinely concerned about my condition. I had an old college friend of mine who posted back, and she's very concerned. She wants me to go to the doctor, and I will. I'm going to follow up on this. I had others who said, "Oh man, that's terrible. You don't want those." A couple people made jokes, and I talked to my manager, Sid Levin, and she actually bought it hook, line, and sinker that I had kidney stones, and she was relating her experiences and how it's not fun at all. And I felt bad. I felt bad because I intended to make just a simple joke, but it caused others to be concerned, and that's never what I wanted to have happen. I ended up sticking my foot in my mouth, and I felt so bad about it that I did what anybody would do in that situation. I had kidney stones installed, just to make good on what I had posted. So there's where I am, and it's their later work. Before we get into the interview, let's thank Banuba, Banuba.net, BANOOBA.net. That's the band that provides the music at the beginning, middle, and end of this show. They are awesome. Go to their website, buy their music, find out where they will be playing live. They're a great live band. Download some of their music that they have there for free, and get involved and become part of the Banuba experience, because they add plenty to this show, and there's plenty more to find out about them. So go visit them and tell them I said hi. Oh, and if you'd like to help us out, here's something you could do. You can go to iTunes or Stitcher, and this is something I push, and I don't push, but man, it would be great if you could just go to iTunes and go to this show, go to bringyourownlunch.com on iTunes or Stitcher, and then rate this show with a number of stars and review the show. Just say some nice things about it. And what will happen is that iTunes will use that information, use it as an incentive to tell other people to come listen to this show. And then everybody has more fun because more people will be involved. And you'll feel like, hey, I helped something that I enjoy. If you hate this show, I don't know why you're listening, and don't do anything. But if you do like this show, you can also subscribe, and that way you get the show downloaded to you instantaneously if you'd like. You don't have to wait for me to post it or for you to find out about it on Facebook or on Twitter or whatever. You can just get that show as soon as it's available because, you get to be first in line. There's something to be said for that. I don't know how much there is to be said for that, but it's still good. So you want to help out, rate, review, subscribe, and then tell all your friends to listen to Bring Your Own Lunch. That's all I'm asking. All right, let's get into it with Jay Klaitz. Not Klaitz, okay? Klaitz. Actor, musician, singer, song and dance man, Squatty Potty aficionado? We definitely will find out. Here's Jay. Enjoy. You may pour.
Thank you, sir. You may pour.
You may pour. It's your end of the day libation.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be any good. A friend left this in my fridge.
You just had someone leave something in your fridge and you're just going to drink it.
Yeah, I don't let friends come over unless they bring gifts.
I brought nothing.
It's very... Oh, no, you brought the gift of this interview.
Oh, that's true. I brought the... So then I'm square with you.
That's right. We're totally
square with the house.
Yeah, you're giving me the gift of talking about me.
Yes, which I've wanted to do for how long now?
Too long. I'm glad we're finally doing this.
Yes, buddy. Absolutely. Because I've known you, and I remember exactly when you and I met.
Do you? What was it?
Yes. We were at Beth Melsky's office. Beth Melsky being one of the top casting directors in New York City, at her old location on Broadway. Uh-huh. And I think you and I went in for something. Mm-hmm. And you and I just kind of hit it off.
Right.
And we exchanged numbers, and you sent me a text right away that said, "I love you." And I was like, well, I'm probably going to be friends with this guy for a long time. Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I totally forgot. This was pre-Subway, though. Yeah, because I knew you for a while.
We knew each other when we did Subway. Subway was a turning point in my life, as we were sort of talking about before.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, we've been through, each of us have been through our ups and downs and quiet times, and then it kind of hits. But, the Subway job broke me of a long cold streak. That coincided with the first year of my daughter's life.
Oh,
so
that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I broke the streak. We worked on a Subway job, and I got to work with an old friend, which is always nice.
Yeah. That's funny. That makes me think about. I think if you're going to be an actor, a person inherently has a little bit of a gambler in them.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you're always just banking that at that right time when you really need it the most, you're going to get a job, you're going to make that money.
I've talked about a lot on this podcast where there's a certain mentality. It's got to sort of be in your DNA that allows you to withstand sort of the ups and downs and the successes and the failures and the randomness of it all, but also makes it tough for you to work a standard regular job.
Yeah.
Do you have the other half too?
That's the first thing, every time it comes up, especially with people who are not in the business, you meet new people. Oh, what do you do? I'm an actor. The first thing they talk about or that comes up is that, you never know what your schedule is going to be. You're basically a freelancer. You may be working, you may not. You may make money, you may not. And people are often very sort of astonished that anybody could just deal with that. And that's exactly what I say. I think it's just something that's in my blood. I'm so okay with it. I don't know why even exactly. And that's kind of what I mean. I think it's just that little bit of mischievousness in me that likes to roll the dice and just fucking hope for the best.
Because I mean, there are a couple of stories that I know from you. That are hilarious, but also very indicative of your survival skill. And your ability to kind of unhinge yourself from a negative situation, like the Subway job we did.
Oh man,
which is one of my favorite Jay Klaitz stories. And I have to, by the way, take a side trip here, because I've established on this podcast that one of my minor to major obsessions is with people's names, because I have a last name that people are always mispronouncing. And
oh, brother,
so my pain.
I feel you on that big time.
But you never expressed it to me for all the times I was calling you Jay Klaitz. Klaitz. I was calling you Jay Klaitz.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It becomes. I've heard it all my life, literally. So at some point, I either stopped correcting people. I think actually it was stages. At some point, I decided consciously to stop correcting people because it's just not fucking worth it because it happens so much. And then at a certain point beyond that, you just stop hearing it. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
And I never, whenever I meet someone new, I never say my last name. I find because it's not worth the
right. You don't want to go through that
hassle of being
it's pronounced this way.
Klaitz.
It's not pronounced that way.
Yeah. Here's my lame trick when I'm going into that thing when you're being escorted by the casting assistant into the room.
Oh, sure, yes.
And they want to be able to say, hey, okay, everyone, here's Jay Klaitz, that thing.
Yeah, just for somebody who's not familiar with the process, generally when you go to a callback, you're talking callbacks here, right? Yeah.
Most frequently, because there's lots of producers in the room.
Exactly, they're new people. The casting person wants to make it very easy for the client, which is the people who are actually going to cast you in something, to know who they're dealing with, and then that also tips them off so that they don't sound stupid.
Right.
Yeah. So go on.
So my stupid trick when I do that is I say, I'm Jay Klaitz. Klaitz, like lights with a K. Yes. And I point up to the lights and look, so they're like, okay, lights with a K on the beginning.
You're probably creating one of those mnemonic devices for them, too.
Totally.
Totally. Every time they look at a light, they're like, hey, that Jay guy is pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Totally. Yeah, right. Every time the lights come on in the room, they're like, who I like is Jay.
We should
cast him in something.
Meanwhile, I'm stuck trying to tell people that, it's Chekhov on Star Trek. Yeah. It's Chekhov on Star Trek.
Yeah, right.
He pronounces his name Koenig. That's how I pronounce my name.
Right.
And it's still, people still watch it. So anyways, one of my favorite Jay Klaitz, lights story involves that Subway job that you and I did, which shot in Boston?
Yeah.
Here in Boston. Yeah, that's right. We were hanging around Boston the night before. And so I heard you got booked on it also, and I was really excited because, you and I get along so well. And it turned out that the plane left New York with the four of us and the fifth was nowhere to be
Still
found.
in bed is where the fifth was.
What happened that morning?
Tugging at my collar. So that was back in my wild and single days, and I was still working in restaurants at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'd had a shift at the restaurant. I was working at this friggin' great restaurant called Matilda on 11th Street and Avenue C. Still dear friends with the owners, and so I had a shift, and restaurant life. Often the night ends in a couple of beverages with the people you work with.
You wind down, it's right there.
Yeah, like when you're living and working in a place that has a bar, that kind of just becomes part of the culture. And that particular night, I'd had some friends come to the restaurant to eat. So then my friends and me and a friend that worked there, we all had a drink. Then we all decided to go around the corner to our favorite karaoke dive bar. And I am a shameless karaoke whore.
Yep.
I will sing my drunk ass off all night and love every minute of it. And so I did. And I stayed out way too late because I knew the next day. Here's my defense.
Here's your defense. Here it comes.
Dear any agents or managers or producers listening, I knew it was only a fitting the next day. So I was like, fuck it. I could be a little hungover. We're going to go out and karaoke.
You don't need
Who
to
cares?
perform. It's not a performance day.
I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm just going up there to get fitted.
Yeah, they're just going to put some clothes on you. You're going to stand there for 20 minutes, and then they're going to say, fine.
And then I'm going to sleep in the hotel room in Boston for the rest of the day. No big deal.
Right.
Except that I stayed out a little too late, and I can't remember now. I either didn't set my alarm, or I may have pulled that move where you set it for PM rather than AM.
Oh, that's the worst.
I think maybe that's what I did, but what happened was I, whatever, went out, karaoke'd, rock and rolled all night.
Yeah.
Came home. My roommate at the time, Danny, she comes in. She knew that I had this job.
Yeah.
She comes into my room at 8:30 in the morning. She goes, Klaitz, wake up! I'm like, what? D, shut the fuck up. I'm sleeping. What? She's like, Klaitz, what time is your flight? I'm like, it's like at 8, I think. It's like at 8. Why? What time is it? She's like, it's 8:30. And I was like, no! And I like hurled out of the bed and freaked out, and I'm on the phone trying to call people.
Yeah.
Thank God. It turned out it was totally fine. Like, they were like, fine, just take the next plane.
Which is why I think it's one of my a real great example of you and your ability to just everything's fine. I'm thinking
I do have kind of a knack for that.
Yeah, because if it was me, I would be panicking the whole time. I would literally be panicking after they told me it was okay, and I would still be panicking this many years later. So here I am projecting onto you like, oh man, they're gonna get so mad at Jay. I hope I hope he doesn't get fired from the job. And meanwhile, you walk in, you're like, hey guys, what's going on?
Totally. I walked in. I remember this very specifically. So I took the next plane out of New York to Boston. Arrived. They picked me up. They took me to, because I think they were shooting something with Jared.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Yeah,
that was the only thing I missed. I didn't get to meet Jared. Bummer. But you guys had been. I remember this specifically because I came in and you guys were like looking at me like, "What the fuck, dude? Because you've been sitting around for hours." Waiting for your fitting, and I waltz in like 3 hours late.
So not only did you miss your flight, you got there late. You ended up having the best day of all of us.
Oh, I walked right in, we did the fitting, and I was done.
Yeah, meanwhile...
And then I did what I originally planned, which was go to the hotel and sleep.
Right. And for us, we got there, we got the 8 o'clock flight, which means we got to the airport at 7. Right. We took the flight to Boston, and they took us out to this location, which is in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I think it was like a car dealership or something like that. It was like a big parking lot.
Yeah, it was.
And we were just kind of hanging out in the sun.
Right.
For hours waiting for them to finish up this other spot that they were shooting that did have Jared in it.
Right.
And then we got to do our fitting. So you missed all of the baking in the sun part.
Right.
The meeting Jared part, which was fine.
Would love to meet Jared.
Sure. But you also got to sleep in.
I did. Basically, I traded Jared for a night of rocking and rolling and sleeping in a little later.
Yeah, no offense to Jared. I think any of us would make that same.
Would have loved to meet the man, but
and to your credit, you plunked down the cost of changing your flight.
I did. That was the only downside of it. Really, was that they were like, well, you cover the cost to change the flight, which was whatever, $100 or I don't even know.
Yeah, not
now.
even
like,
not that
so
bad.
Fuck it. Like it was fine. Like, you know.
Yeah. That's
didn't matter.
No.
And I just waltzed in way late.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we're ready for the fading.
And everybody was like, so glad to see you. Everybody was like, he's the greatest guy ever. He's rock and roll, man.
Yeah, what can I say? It's kind of my thing.
That was the rock and rollin' late 2000s.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Late 2000s.
I can't believe that's like 7 years ago.
That's insane.
Yeah, that just dawned on me how long ago that was.
I think that's one, again, like being an actor, time has a different feel than I think it does
Absolutely.
And I'm just guessing here because I don't go to a place of work from 9 to 5 days a week.
Right.
I think it has a different feel because it could be the middle of May or the middle of June. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter to me. Like
the standard like benchmarks for a year. Like people are like, oh, we get off for Memorial Day. Yeah. And it's not like I'm not aware that everybody's off for Memorial Day, but it's not that different for me.
Yeah. Totally. I might have had off just as much time the week before.
Exactly.
Or I might not have. I might have been working.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. It's like, we go through periods of intense work and then none. Yeah. And then intense work, and then none. Right. And it's just, you have to just be okay with that, or else you really can't do that. So let's go back to the beginning with you. Yeah. All right. So where were you born?
I was born in Hotlanta, Georgia.
Hotlanta. Mm-hmm. And how long were you there for?
Well, briefly. When people ask me where I'm from, if I don't care to give you the full answer, I say Jacksonville, Florida. Mm-hmm. If I want to give you the full answer, I say, well, I was born in Georgia. I grew up mostly in Jacksonville, Florida. But Georgia is now, all my family has since returned there, and that is where we always would spend Christmas with like my grandparents and other relatives. So
that's the home base.
Yeah. Like Georgia is kind of, now it's fully home. Nobody's left in Florida. Jacksonville, actually. I do have family on the other side of Florida. But so I never go back to Jacksonville now. I wish I would actually still have friends there from high school. But so I was born in Atlanta, and that's all my family's kind of in the Atlanta-ish area now. Yeah. Most of my family anyway. But I grew up mostly in Jacksonville, Florida.
What was life like in Jacksonville?
It was friggin' lovely. Yeah? And I don't mind saying it. It's growing up, I grew up on the beach side. Jacksonville is an enormous town. It's so Jacksonville, the city, is in technical terms the same space as Duval County. Okay. And in that way, it is the largest city in the country. Oh. Didn't know that. Just in terms of like land mass.
Yeah, sure.
So I had friends that lived an hour away, but still in Jacksonville.
Oh wow.
But I grew up on, so you could live. The point of that is to say you could live like deep out in the swamps or way into the woods, like way inland, or you could live out at the beach or anywhere in between. And I grew up on the beach side, and growing up there was really nice. You had that kind of mix of that slow southern pace with that kind of beachy, surfery life. Like I grew up hanging out on the beach as as like a teenager. That's what we did. We drank beers on the beach.
You were not stressed out during your formative
not even
years.
A little.
Yeah, and I think that sets a very strong pattern for you moving forward. Everything, and I say that almost out of envy because I lean towards stress. Whether it was environmental or genetic or whatever. But it's like you have always struck me as somebody who's just so laid back, and I think it serves you really, really well. In school, did you have thoughts about performing? When did that start kicking in?
My like cheesy "the day I became an actor" story. The day I became an actor, teardrop rolls, single tear from my eye.
And just to clarify, he did in fact produce a single tear.
Just wait, hold on, Dave. Save this tear. I'm handing it to Dave. You can't see this at home.
See, I only brought a podcast, yet I get to leave with a tear.
With an extra tear. Oh. Pretty great gift. You're welcome.
Yes.
But let's see. So I would have been. We lived in Virginia for a short span, and then moved back to Jacksonville. And I started at Episcopal High School of Jacksonville in 7th grade, and remember when I first got there, I was playing sports. And I was good at sports like in elementary school era because I was bigger than most kids.
Okay.
And I could like throw my weight around. But then I got to that like middle school era where like they actually grew taller and I just kind of stayed medium height and squat.
Yeah.
So like
your options.
I was like trying to play baseball. And I played a year of football and they would just put me on the line so I could be in people's way.
Yeah.
But I sucked at sports.
Oh, okay.
And only ever like even cared halfway.
Yeah.
And I remember one day walking by the theater at Episcopal High School. They had middle school and high school there in 7th grade. And there was a little sign on the door that said the auditions were happening for the play. It was right after school. And I was like, I'm going to go do that. And I did that. And then I never left that theater. I was in that theater for the remainder of my time at Episcopal.
Wow.
From 7th grade on through
How many kids did you graduate with?
Small school then. I think it's expanded since, but I think there were only like maybe 100 or a little more people in my class.
It's a little smaller than the one I did. How many kids were involved in that program?
The theater program?
Yeah.
I would say of the core kids, like there were the kids who both took the advanced theater classes.
Okay.
And also, cause, everybody ends up taking one of the arts. Often kids would take theater, but they weren't like into it.
Right.
Of the kids that like took the advanced theater classes, there were advanced theater classes in the same way that you had AP Bio or whatever.
Yeah. Similar to how my school was too.
Right.
Yeah.
And, and did all the plays. Like the kids that were really into it, I would say maybe 20 of us would be like the larger group. Yeah,
it's very maybe reminiscent of my experience too. At that point, did you think? Obviously, you found a home there. You found like your group, your tribe, as they say.
Yeah.
Was it serious, or was it just like this is what I'm doing instead of football, or?
I think
as a career choice, I should say.
As a career choice,
yeah.
I was actually in denial about doing this as a career, even through like going to grad school at Harvard.
No kidding.
Yeah, even then I was like, I don't know. New York City seems like a lot.
This is just a goof.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll move somewhere chill and teach or something. Like now, if you asked me to teach, I would fucking shoot myself first. I'm like, no way. But back then, I think that was part of my. I think I was like secreting it.
Okay, sure.
I just made secret, a verb.
Yeah. English is what you make of it.
I was like, if I don't assume that I'm going to do it, then I will.
Right.
I'm just going to.
Yeah, it's like liking somebody in school.
Yeah.
No, I don't like her at all. No, I don't like her. And then you're like waiting up.
Yeah,
and
with
night.
every ounce of energy you put into not liking that person, you like them more.
Oh, absolutely.
That's basically what I did.
Yeah,
I never thought about it in high school, though. I mean, I never thought about would I do it professionally or not.
Yeah.
Until I graduated, I mean, I did all the plays. I did all, I was super into it.
Yeah.
And I happened to be in a class with some really talented kids. Like we had, and my teacher, Sally Deming, to this day is somebody that I know and love dearly and was such an amazing human, and great influence as a teacher, and totally like took me down that path, whether I knew it or not. But I went, when I graduated from Episcopal, I went to Bucknell for undergrad, specifically because it was not an art school.
Interesting.
Because I had it in my mind that I loved doing that stuff, and I had the performative bug even as a kid. I was totally that kid that would be like, "Hey, family, sit down and watch me sing a song."
Okay, yeah.
I was like totally that.
It was in your blood.
But,
but you kind of denied it. I relate to that so much, and some of it was that it was drilled into me that it's fun now, but it's too hard as a job. You can't really make a living doing it. You have to be a model looking dude, and it's like, okay, I guess I won't do that, but still hung on to that thought, like, yes, I'm gonna do that at some point. For me, it was just even more that my parents, God bless them, like have always been super supportive of me doing this crazy thing. It was almost more like I just didn't need. It seemed like such a hassle. I was like, a lot of work.
It seems like, I don't know, it seems like a real pain. I don't know.
You have to get up in the morning, you go to an audition.
You try real hard.
Oh, for crying out loud. Gah.
I hate trying.
Gah.
Yeah.
So wait, you chose Bucknell because it wasn't a theater school or an art school.
Yeah. And I early applied and everything.
Wow.
It was the only school I applied to.
And that's not a like a safety school. So
I didn't expect I would get in. I have no idea why.
How were you academically?
Pretty good. I had solid grades.
Oh, good.
I was honor roll most of the time. I took some honors classes. I didn't take any AP.
Yeah.
Again, there was a point for some weird reason I was particularly good at chemistry. I still don't understand how that happened, but I was, and the teacher really encouraged me to take AP Chem my senior year, and I was like, nah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You have to get up.
I've heard they have to do a lot of shit. Nah.
Yeah.
And I totally was like,
it's like the Slacker's Guide to the Universe here.
Yeah, totally. I'm like levitating an inch off the ground, by the way.
So I mean, you did do some theater at Bucknell, or
yeah, I lasted exactly one semester.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Funny sidebar. My movie / band, Future Folk is the band, the history of Future Folk's movie.
Yeah.
My dear friend who produced and co-directed that, I auditioned for him the first semester of my freshman year at Bucknell.
Wow.
And he was a year ahead of me in directing a play.
Huh.
And he asked me to do the part. I booked the job, in air quotes. And I was like, cool. And then I called him back a couple days later. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I can't do this. I came here not to do this shit. I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
So I bailed on him.
Wow.
And then I lasted that was in the first semester of my freshman year. And then by second semester, I was doing plays and starting short films with him.
So
and
funny.
like I lasted one semester exactly.
So you held out for an entire semester.
I did.
And then you got sucked right back in.
And then I was like, screw it. I got to do it, yeah.
What did you intend to do at Bucknell if you weren't going to do...
I had no idea.
Oh, you just went because...
Yeah, it was like, I knew it was a good school and, I had no idea. I ended up getting BAs in theater and religion and economics. But that was strictly because that's just what I was interested in. Like, I just took what I felt like taking really, and they let me graduate, I guess. But the economics, it wasn't like I was taking econometrics and really like math heavy side of shit. Like, it was more like
theory and basic stuff.
Yeah, it was like social economic, like socio-political economic stuff.
Sure.
Like, that was and history of economics. That was the stuff that kind of interested me. And so I got those degrees, and I would always tell my parents, like, well, I've got an economics degree to fall back on.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I couldn't have fallen back on that to save my life. I don't, no way.
It's interesting because I think, it's almost like a form of denial, or, denial of your own desires to not pursue that. Yeah. And you said you went to school with absolutely no idea what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see that in other people? Have you talked to other people who have gone through that same thing in our business? Because I have through this podcast, but I'm curious if you have talked to other people who were who denied it at first and eventually were like, okay, I'm just going to do this. What the hell?
You know what? I don't know. I feel like most people... You know what? I don't know. I feel like most people more like start this early and know they want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
It's an interesting question because I think, your story is very reminiscent of mine, and then several people along the way doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if it's the people who I gravitate towards.
Yeah, maybe.
Or it's more prevalent than we think.
Yeah.
But my thinking is if somebody's out there who has that denial going on, it's like, don't deny it. Just go and do what you want to do. Yeah.
If you have this in your blood, you're better off just going for it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be. It'll be just as much effort to deny it.
Yeah, it's true.
Not to.
It's true. You end up doing a hell of a lot of different things that you just don't want to be doing.
Yeah, totally.
Thinking about the one, it's like being with the wrong person.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. But you fake your way through it until you realize this is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
There's that somebody out there, whether it's specific or mythical. It's like,
totally.
go do that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So Bucknell ends. You get out of Bucknell. You graduate Bucknell.
Yep.
And did you have a plan? Did you know what you wanted to do?
I went straight into grad school.
Okay.
Like a couple weeks later, it started.
At And that was Hartford. And Harvard.
Yeah.
I'm sure Hartford would love to hear me say that. Yeah. And so
also great schools in Hartford.
Yes.
I went straight into the program at Harvard / ART / the Moscow Art Theater.
Yes.
Those three institutions together make up the grander institute of study there.
And you are the second. Well, technically, you were the first person I had on a podcast, but it was a different podcast. But you were the second person on this podcast to talk about that experience. Oh, yeah. The Harvard stuff I didn't get a lot into, and I haven't asked you about specifically. Starting fresh at Harvard, what were they doing with you? What kind of stuff were you picking up? It was
their whole theory was, whereas at some schools you might go and study one specific method of acting, might be the method. I'm putting that in air quotes.
Yes.
You can't see that at home. But their whole theory was, we're going to show you a bunch of different methods of acting, and then you can take what you need from each one. Yes. Or maybe you like one altogether, or maybe you like a combo of these two, or all,
Yeah, it wasn't drilled into your head, this is the only way to do it.
Yeah, and there is a heavy Russian influence, of course. Stanislavski, the whole thing, the method. So there is that, but I had some brilliant teachers who really, who really gave us some great tools. I hate that word; it sounds so fake, but it's true. It's like gave us some really great tools to work with. I think it also had. I think what I took away from it more than anything was, I've always had this bug in me, particularly the comedic side of things.
Yes.
But going there gave me the chance to explore some more dramatic roles. It also was very difficult. Our time in Russia was brutal and violent and insane. And
we'll kind of maybe have to get into that a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Having that experience as somebody who grew up on the beach in Jacksonville and then went and fucking cruised through Bucknell for a few years and it was all groovy. Going to that was very dark and different, and sort of accessing that side of myself, which is helpful as an actor.
Yeah.
To be able to acknowledge those parts.
Yeah, being sheltered in a very comfortable place, it doesn't make for necessarily the best artists. So
that's right.
When you went to Moscow, it was Moscow, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. When you went to Moscow, what was the first thing that you really took note of and said, "Whoa, I'm somewhere new"?
In Moscow, it's racially not diverse at all. And yet, somehow we stuck out like giant sore thumbs. There is no such thing as blending in there amongst the other white people of Moscow.
Yeah. What did you think it was?
Attitude, mostly.
Okay, sure.
It was, also just, of course, you dress a little differently, yada, yada.
Yeah.
It's just a different feeling, and it's palpable, on the street.
Yeah. What kind of reaction did you feel you were getting from people who?
Well, a lot of a lot of people know that the ART kids come every year and come to see the plays because they love the exposure to English, and they like to chat with you afterwards and try out their English, and of course they want to see the plays too, and that's cool. And theater is what's great about Russia in general is that it's a very respected art, and there are theaters across Moscow like there are Starbucks in New York.
Wow.
They're every damn 5 feet.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's a truly honored and respected tradition. The downside is that it's a place in great social and political upheaval, and has been for a long damn time.
Yeah.
And that gets in the way a lot.
Sure. In terms of, you said it was very violent and crazy place. Well, give me one example of.
All right, here's my
here it is.
My favorite.
Here it comes.
Yeah, and we get. How long do you have in this podcast?
Yeah,
will this thing record for 15 hours?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Moscow. I've seen the dark. So here's look into your soul, reap it out. So my favorite story of that is it was maybe in our first or second week there, and Buddy had a birthday, so we all went out to this kind of famous bar that was in the Master and Margarita, which is this Russian novel, and we went to that bar and drank Russian vodka all night, which is something akin to absinthe or something. Like real deal Russian vodka is
it's more powerful.
Yeah, it's not like drinking Smirnoff,
Okay.
It's like next level shit.
As much Russian as they try to make it sound.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's potent. And so the end of the night's wrapping up, and two of my buddies were like, all right, we're going to head back, because we all 20 actors on one floor of a dorm, which is a brutal way to live.
Yes, yes.
They were heading back, and I was like, all right, I'll catch up with you guys down the street. I'm going to say goodbye to the birthday boy. I did say goodbye, ran out the door, didn't see him, kind of ran down the block, turned the corner, still didn't see him.
Oh.
Would find out later that the idiots went out the door and went the wrong way, the opposite direction.
Great.
So I'm walking home late at night, drunk, alone in Moscow.
Yeah.
You can do it, but it's not a great idea.
And then you didn't really have your GPS on you at the time.
No.
Yeah.
And this is in 2002, so it's...
Yeah.
This is a while ago, and it was even more tumultuous there than it is now. And so I'm walking, and I'm coming up the street, and I'm passing this sushi restaurant on Tverskaya, which is one of the main streets that run out of the Red Square. And a Benz and a Land Rover pull up as I'm approaching, and like 3 or 4 dudes get out of each car, and they're all wearing like the suits, the trench coats. Each car has their friggin' ginormous bodyguard. They're all packing like there is no way to overstate how openly the mafia runs everything there.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
You can't overstate it. I mean,
yeah.
It makes anything you've ever seen in the movies look like child's play. Like it's crazy. How just they are who they are. They don't care who knows it, and they run everything.
Right. And what's going to happen anyway?
Yeah. Nobody can stand up to it.
Yeah.
So whatever. I see these guys. It's fine. Like just keep your head down and keep going. And I do. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Maybe a block later, I'm walking by and I see this BMW, a German-made car, as we all know. Mm-hmm. It's got this absurd paint job. It looks like a hypercolor T-shirt, it's kind of like blue from this angle or purple from that angle, and it's shimmery but not, and it's like some kind of fucked up paint job, It
might have been black, but you were on that absinthe.
Yeah, that's true. I was also hammered, so you never know.
Sure.
So I reached out as I walked by. Because it was like kind of shiny, and I just went shiny, and I reached out and I touched the side view mirror with my finger so delicately. Like a dumb animal, like I'm like, oh, that's shiny, I gotta touch it. And I did. And as soon as I do, and this literally, I didn't even stop. I just reach out and graze it as I walk by because I was like, that's pretty.
Yeah.
And as soon as I do, this guy steps in front of me. And I didn't see him because I'd had my head down trying to get home. Don't worry about the mobsters back there.
Yeah, I see nothing. Yeah.
This guy steps in front of me and I stop. He cuts me off. And I look up. And he's wearing the suit, the trench coat.
Yeah.
I look over his shoulder. There's his friggin' bodyguard guy, huge dude with a big bulge right where you would keep the gun.
Man, there's a guy playing a balalaika, providing theme music.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Just you're about to die.
For some reason, that woman who yells Flores in Streetcar Named Desire walks around the corner.
Flores! Totally. I'm like, you're speaking Spanish. It's Russia. Why? She's like, don't worry about it. You're dead anyway. So he cuts me off.
They do love the theater. Yes.
That's true. They love theatrics, and for that I was appreciated. So he cuts me off, and he barks at me in Russian, and I look at him and I go, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian. And I tried to sidestep him, and he cuts me off again, and he gets like a fucking inch from my face and looks me right in the eye, and I will never forget this as long as I live.
Good God.
He goes, German cars annoy you somehow?
Oh my God.
And I was like... I crapped my pants. My heart came out of my butt. I was like, well, you had a nice run, Klaitz, but this is where you get 2 in the head.
Yeah.
Probably they lined the trunk with plastic already, so they could just be quick about it. It doesn't matter.
They might give you a page in the yearbook.
Yeah, totally. Like I might be like on a plaque somewhere lost in the corner of Harvard. You never know.
Yep.
I thought I was done, and I just started like pooping out of my mouth. I basically played the dumb American card. I was like, "Oh, is that your car? I didn't mean to touch it. You drunk Russian vodka, right? Hey, where'd you get that paint job done? It's amazing. Got blue, is that purple? I can't tell. Oh, being a great car, right? I mean, that drives really nicely, doesn't it?" I was just like, talking nonsense, and I finally sidestepped him once again, and he let me go. Thank God.
Oh my God!
But I mean, it could have been the end so easily.
And wouldn't have that been just an honorable death?
Damn it. Just had to touch the Beamer.
You had to touch the Beamer. That's
I'm going to get t-shirts made. Don't touch the Beamer.
Don't touch the Beamer, and an arrow pointing down. So I don't even know what that means.
It's because it's shiny.
Yeah. So you at what point during your stay at Harvard, or was it sometime in Russia, that that sense of denial about what you were actually accomplishing to do for a living wear off?
Probably not until, even though I knew I would probably end up doing it. Once we did the showcase and I got some decent response, Tracy, of course, signed
Tracy
me.
Goldblum at Abrams Artists.
Yep. Yeah. I got a decent response at the showcase, and then I figured, well, what the hell? I've come this far. I spent all that money on grad school. I'm still trying to pay off.
Oh boy.
Might as well do it.
Yeah.
So and honestly, more than anything, I just didn't know what the hell else I would do with myself.
I think it's that you reach a certain point in a pursuit where it's like it costs way more to turn back than it does to move forward. And I think you probably hit that point where it's like, you kind of invested yourself a lot at that point. So the showcase, you said, are you in touch with anybody who else was in the program or at that showcase?
Yeah, I still have a few friends. I mean, it's brutal, man. I mean, it's the Institute has a great reputation, but there's really only a few of us left that are still in the biz. Of the 20 people in my class, I think probably 5 of us are still doing it.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it does underscore the fact that it is a tough business. I mean, it is. Yeah. And so wait, you said you did the showcase. Was the showcase there or was it here?
Here.
It was in New York.
Yeah.
So why New York? Did you ever think about? Was it
LA? Yeah,
LA?
we wanted to do a showcase in LA, and they kind of put the kibosh on it, which was a very sore point amongst all of us.
Interesting.
I think they mostly just didn't want to organize it. He said, hoping someone at ART hears this one day.
Yeah.
We did want to do that, but we had the showcase in New York, and that's where I had some possible reps, so I just did it, and here I am. Yeah, so you got a commercial agent out of that.
Besides that, obviously you've had a long relationship with Abrams Artists, which is also, where you and I also are connected. Yeah. What was your overall game plan otherwise? I mean, you got to hit the
Was I supposed to have a game plan?
I don't know. Did you? I mean, did you know what you were going to do?
No,
did you know you were going to stick in New York?
No, I had no idea. I don't know that I've ever thought too much about a game plan in terms of my life. It's a funny idea.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of comes back to the thing of this, drawing a certain personality type.
Yeah. Just basically secret your way through everything. And
I guess I got a commercial agent. I got a legit agent out of the showcase.
Oh, okay.
And I even booked a 5 and under on Law and Order with them, but they didn't send me out for shit.
Yeah.
And I, some years later, was able to dump them and get somebody new, thankfully. And I guess, the only plan I have is, I know I'm going to have a crappy side job to pay rent and, and that kind of thing. So I did that. The first thing I did was substitute teaching.
Wow.
Horrible idea. I am not meant to take care of other people's children.
See, I would almost think that, at least on their side of things, the child side of things, having you as a sub would be like a party.
Best day ever.
Yeah, of course.
They fucking love me. That's the problem.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. They were like, oh, this guy, he doesn't care.
Yeah, we'll accomplish nothing, but we'll have fun doing it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was like all too easy, making friends with the kids.
Sure.
Which is, you don't want. I think as a teacher, you don't want to be a friend.
How old were these kids?
Oh, you have to be certified to do public schools, so it was only in private schools. So it was everything from little kids to middle schoolers.
Wherever you
were needed. I ever did high school.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did that for a handful of months.
Okay.
On and off.
Yeah.
And it was a brutal way to live.
Oof.
God bless teachers. I really gave me profound respect for teachers in general.
Definitely.
And then I had crappy office jobs. I worked for a lawyer for a while. Then I worked at a plaster company in Greenpoint in their office, totally random. Lovely people there, though. Really enjoyed the people I worked with, but just total random survival.
Whatever
job.
works. Yeah.
And then let's see. I guess the first big job was those Capital One spots, where that was the first time I ever made money as an actor.
Yeah, I know this. I know the spot you're talking about, but I'm trying to remember.
Guardian Angel. I was like the really crappy Guardian Angel.
Oh, yeah.
People were always getting hurt.
How many was that? One spot or was that?
We did 3 to start.
Yeah. Okay.
We filmed them in Australia, which was friggin' amazing.
So your first big time.
Oh yeah, I went from
gig.
Broke as a joke, working at a plaster company in Greenpoint, to all of a sudden I was swimming off the back of a catered yacht in Australia in the Sydney Bay. Unbelievable.
The turnaround is amazing in this business, where you go from desperation to an unfair wealth of riches.
That's right.
Yeah, it just happens that way.
Peaks and valleys, baby.
Yeah.
Peaks and valleys.
Yeah. Oh man. And so how many total did you end up doing those?
We did 3. We ended up sometime later shooting a few more, but then they killed the campaign for some reason. I have no idea why, because I suspect that the campaign went over generally very well. People seemed to respond to it well, but I suspect that they became hesitant to have such an obvious stoner slacker type of a dude.
Okay.
As an angel, they might be offending the middle of the country.
I guess, but man,
that's my best guess. But
you never know. I mean, there could be anything. It could be somebody's daughter just didn't like it, and it's we're gonna have to get rid of that.
Maybe that's when they started having the celebrities do the "What's in your wallet" stuff.
Okay,
maybe.
so I think, and I'm not 100% sure. I think I may have read for that spot.
Yeah.
Because it was that long ago,
Yeah, totally.
It's who knows. We do these things, a billion of them, and some. You get to a certain point, you're like, I don't remember any of them.
Oh, I couldn't tell you what I auditioned for last week. So no idea.
Do you remember today? You remember the one we did today?
Did we have auditions today?
I saw. We ran into each other at an audition.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right.
I vaguely remember that.
At least you remember that.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna give, even though I haven't done it yet, I'm going to give your career wrap up and let people know you've done a lot. You've done stuff on Broadway. You've films and very cool things. And I don't want to skip over anything, but I know we also have a certain amount of time we can do this. And you have a concert to go to.
Yeah, baby.
So I want to just hit a couple things. You mentioned Future Folk.
Yep.
How did that begin?
So futurefolk.com, I should say.
Futurefolk.com.
Yep.
Which is, and I kind of glossed over, what is Future Folk?
So, I've been in the city 12 years, probably about 10 years ago. My buddy Nils and I started this silly band called Future Folk. Mm. And we put on silly space alien outfits and decided to write folk and bluegrass songs about space stuff because we liked the juxtaposition of that kind of earthy roots music with sci-fi weirdness. It's I don't know. We were drinking a lot of
and certain influences helped. Yeah.
And so we made this silly band, and it was always very well received, and it was always a for funsies on the side thing.
Sure.
This is all through the years of when I had side jobs back then, and we would take breaks. I would be doing 8 shows a week, and we wouldn't play for a while, and then we'd come back to it. It was always a for funsies side thing.
Yeah.
And then at some point, 2 of our very good friends, the same guy who I told the story earlier about my freshman year at Bucknell,
right,
and then bailed on him. He and that's Jeremy and our friend John. They co-direct projects together. John writes, Jeremy produces. They approached us about doing a movie about future folk because they had just seen us over the years and seen that audiences had responded very nicely to it, and so they just had this idea to write the movie, and they did, and they'd been working in the film industry for a long time, and by hook and crook, and calling in every favor they had over years and years of working the biz, they were able to get us a real budget, and we made a proper movie called The History of Future Folk.
It's available on Netflix right now.
Yep, it's on Netflix, iTunes, Amazon, and it's been amazing. It had the most unexpected and incredible ride. It did really well on the film festival circuit, and then got distribution. We played about a dozen cities, in indie houses at first, and then we were on demand on cable, and then Netflix. Netflix by far and away was the best thing for it. It really blew up on that. But it's like the little indie movie that could. It just keeps on going, and we ended up on a tour last summer because it came out on Netflix, and this company saw it. The head guy saw it and was like, I like these guys. Let's send them on a tour, and we did. So It's and it's still going. Right now we're working on the next steps for Future Folk, and it's amazing. I mean, music is as much a love to me as acting, and often they go together, and I like to do that as much as possible.
Yeah. So it sounds like one of those dream jobs you get to do.
Totally.
That just, falls in your lap kind of thing.
Oh, it was and we were making the movie with all our best friends. Guys that we'd known and loved and worked with for years, and it was a family affair.
That's very cool.
It was definitely one of the top 3 experiences of my life.
That's awesome.
It still keeps going. People.
Have people reached out to you because of that? Become fans because of the movie and reached out to you?
Oh, endlessly, dude.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
That's fantastic.
People, when we went on the tour last summer, and we still play gigs live around New York. We're probably going to do another tour next summer. The people show up to our gigs dressed like we do.
Wow.
They put on their crazy red space helmets. We have a thing on our website about how to make your own space helmet,
that's
people
so
can kind of get into it, and it's fun. Like, people reach out to us about playing their weddings all the time and stuff like that.
That's so cool. That's great.
It's great. Or we'll just get somebody will post on Twitter or Facebook, look at this picture my kids drew of you guys, because the kids really love the movie somehow. And
it's got a gentle feel to it, so I can see that it's not. It's. I don't know that it's appropriate for all audiences entirely, but they're definitely a gentle film.
It's totally. It's not what we set out to do per se, but it happens that it is totally family friendly. It's also a comedy that's not cynical at all, and I think that's what people have really responded to, because it's so rare now.
Absolutely.
Not that I don't love those cynical, full of piss and vinegar type comedies. I love that too.
No, but there's anything can become oversaturated.
Yeah,
and I know exactly what you're saying. Where it's not everything has to be that sort of ironic, non-comedy comedy.
That's right.
And so to hear something that's not is definitely going to feel refreshing.
It's got real heart, and it's also about aliens discovering music. So there's a real and genuine love for music there, and I think people respond to that as well.
Yeah.
There's a scene where I hear music for the first time and lose my shit, and we get so many comments on that scene, and I think people just connect with the love of music.
Yeah. Very cool. I want to hit a couple of your more recent gigs. You just got back from Georgia.
Yep, I was in Georgia for a month, working on a film called Table 19. That's a hilarious script. Table 19 refers to that table in the back of the wedding reception of the sort of misfits that people kind of wish hadn't really accepted the invite.
Yep.
And I play the wedding photographer in that movie.
I remember before you and I saw each other before you went down there, and it's a really interesting opportunity for you because it's a part that ordinarily might be a day on set or 2 days on set, but because of the nature of it, you were there. You were there for almost the entire shoot, right? That part of the
I was there. I was about 3.5 weeks, and I think they maybe did 5-ish of full shooting, 5 or 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
But a long chunk. But it totally, Totally. It's one of those roles that if you just looked at it on paper, you might assume it's a couple days.
Yeah,
but because it's the wedding photographer and it's a wedding movie, luckily for me, like I kind of pop up in a lot of stuff. Like I have 2 funny short little scenes, but I'm also like just kind of popping up for a quick little onesie here and there because he's the wedding photographer roaming around at the wedding.
Yeah. And who stars in that one?
Anna Kendrick is the lead.
Anna Kendrick and
Chris Robinson, Lisa Kudrow.
Good stuff.
Amanda that's on Silicon Valley. Who else? Who am I missing? Stephen Merchant, who's hilarious.
Oh, he's great.
The cast is just friggin' incredible. June Squibb.
Yeah, and you were kind of basically hanging around them the whole time.
Yeah, totally.
Did you pick up anything interesting, like
just like it was just nice to be. I think the thing I took away professionally from a job like that, everybody was very cool, very funny, like lovely hanging out with everybody. I think what directors want out of a guy in the kind of role I had is somebody who doesn't need to be told what to do much.
Yeah.
Because they're dealing with like a cast of celebrities.
Yeah.
And it's also like an ensemble. So they've got their hands full. A director has really got a lot to do in that case.
Yeah.
Plus it's a wedding comedy, so there's 100 extras, literally. So it's a busy
like
set.
The second AD is a busy person on that. Much less,
very,
the director.
very busy. Yeah. So a guy like me who's a supporting role but around a bunch, really, I tried to kind of lay back in the cut a little bit, like sit back and be the kind of guy who doesn't need to ask too many questions, just knows, hit the marks.
Sure.
Know when to improv and throw in a little line or two, know when to just do it and get the fuck out. Feeling that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of intense like immersion.
Yeah.
It can be really, really instructive in a lot of ways.
Oh, totally. It was, a very good learning experience versus something like Future Folk, where I was in, most of it all the time, running around, and I can stop everything, and be like, I don't know. Here's the thing about this scene, and then let me blah 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 blah. Let's think about it. Let's blah blah.
You were a piece of the bigger puzzle.
Yeah, I was on the creative team, so to speak. Whereas a job like this, I'm around a lot, but I'm really there. A supporting role means somebody both who is a supporting character in terms of supporting the story, but I think also in production.
Yeah, I guess
is supporting like somebody who's going to hit their mark and handle their business, not fuck around. Know what to do, know when to kind of go for it, know when to lay back.
Yeah. It's like that guy who can come off the bench and lay down a perfect bunt.
Totally.
And not screw up.
That's a great sports analogy.
Yeah,
totally.
And then the thing you're being heard most for these days, to do the voice.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I've got these Burger King ads, for the croissant sandwich. I hope they won't mind me. What do they care? It's on the radio all the time.
It's a free plug for their thing.
That's been such a fun job, and the people I've worked with for that, both the client, the Burger King folks, and the production people are just lovely. It's been such a pleasure.
If you've heard a radio spot where you hear somebody saying the word
croissant sandwich,
this is the man who's responsible. Yeah.
I'm the one guilty for putting that in your head.
Yep. And now I wanted to. We were gonna when we talked about it earlier. We were maybe gonna open it with it, but I definitely want to close with it because you were so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Is your new discovery?
Okay.
Now you have to explain it to me.
This is when, and you may want to cut this later. I'll leave it up to you. This is when the podcast takes a turn for the weird.
Sure.
Because it's about taking dumps. So a friend, a few months back, came to town. He was visiting for a weekend and turned me on to the Squatty Potty. Mm-hmm. People may have heard of it because it was on the Shark Tank, apparently. I didn't see it, but apparently it was one of the products being peddled on that show.
All right, so if it's safe for ABC, we can talk about it.
Yeah, totally. Oh, totally. Totally. It's like a little U-shaped stool that you put at the base of your toilet so that you're in a squatting position when you're taking your morning dump.
Okay, so your knees are elevated?
That's right.
Okay,
and there's a whole, you can watch their YouTube video and, see the biological benefit of being in that physical position. Like
Yes.
things are less cut off and everything happens more completely.
Yes, actually, it explains why there are certain cultures who don't have what we have, like the sitting down.
That's right. Like, and
toilet. Yeah,
a lot of people think that the modern toilet is to blame for a lot of ailments. Like people have like colonitis and
right.
all sorts of digestive issues. And I got to tell you, brother, it's a gift.
Really?
You'll poop like you never knew you could poop. I had no idea.
So this podcast has not, it runs commercial free. I don't have sponsors.
Sure.
Not that I don't want them, but I think we may have landed on one that may be interested in talking to me.
You'd think I'm being paid by Squatty Potty to talk about it. I'm not. I'm just so enthusiastic about it.
You are a passionate consumer of the product.
Oh, I've been like telling all my buddies. All my buddies have them now. Like it's amazing.
So
they're on back order. Like it takes a few weeks to get it because it's been like become very popular.
It's changed your life.
Oh, brother, you have no idea.
Wow.
Good for you.
Wow. And, I think I want to do this again at some point so I can hear more stories because we skipped over tremendous chunks of your career. And I'm sure there are plenty of good stories. But I think also I want to have a full medical update on how you're doing, how much it's changed.
Hey, Klaitz, how's your colon?
Yeah, hey.
My colon is fucking tip-top.
There you go. You can't do better than that.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So I know you're not a social media guy. Is there any way people can reach out and say hello?
Yes, actually, I finally got wise and got myself a website. JayKlaitz.com.
Very good.
JayKlaitz. But also futurefolk.com.
Okay.
The band has a website, Twitter, Facebook, everything.
Awesome.
So you can find me on there.
You finally joined us here in 2003.
I know, I did. I got my own website.
Wow, man.
The future is here.
You see yourself ever getting on Twitter or Facebook?
Eventually I'll do it, and I'm not one of those people, and I always feel obligated to say this. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, fucking Facebook, I don't need that crap in my life, blah, blah. It's not that. Like, I don't have any, I don't got no beef with Facebook or anything, Twitter, any of that. It's just it's sheer, like, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's sheer, like, I don't want to add another level of something to do.
Honestly, and on many levels, I envy that. And I sometimes wish. No, it's not necessarily even laziness. It's being so immersed in it myself. It's like there are times when I think maybe I should just shut all that out.
Yeah.
But you get to a certain point, it's like momentum takes over, and it's like that point of no return.
Oh, totally.
But for you, like, your mind is so clear.
Well... That's the funniest joke you ever made.
It says a lot about my career.
No. That's about me, not you. It's like so. I already spent so much time texting, emailing, and on phone calls. I think if I added another level, I'd be like,
Don't do it. Stay what you're doing. Trust me.
I will say, like my girl is always telling me about stuff that I miss on Facebook, and that is a bummer. I hate to not see fun pictures or things that my friends are doing, but
but you have an advocate who will show you and filter out the stuff. So,
I know. Yeah. Don't tell her. Don't tell her that she's my Facebook advocate.
Yeah. So if you want to reach out to Jay Klaitz, just put something up there, and hopefully his girl will see it.
Yeah. Courtney Maggart.
Well, thanks for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
David, my pleasure, buddy. My absolute pleasure.
Hey, enjoy the concert.
Oh yeah, I will. Go Pixies.
That's Jay Klaitz. Such a cool, funny guy. It's great to be able to spend a little bit of time with him, delving a little bit further into his personal history, getting his insights on important things. Just an awesome time. And this guy's going to break out and be huge. So I'm glad I got him before he, got so big that he'll forget all those people he knew back when. No, he's the last person on earth I think will do that. And I'm happy for him and everything he's doing. He's got something big coming up. He couldn't even tell me about it, but hopefully I'll be able to update that. I will go after the story and I will report it to you exactly what Jay is involved with. That's coming up. That's big. But in the meantime, enjoy his exploits. There'll be links to History of Future Folk on the website, in the show notes for this episode. And of course, if you want to keep in touch with Jay and you want to find out what he's doing, go to JayKlaitz.com, JayKlaitz.com. And you can also go to futurefolk.com to keep in touch with what he's doing with his very unique band, and they're very cool too. So thanks to Jay for hosting, and I look forward to doing this again because, you know, you're a fun guy. He is a fun guy. Go check him out. That about does it for another edition of Bring Your Own Lunch. Glad you can join us. Thank you. Also got to thank Banuba. That's the band you're listening to right now. They're the ones that provide the music for the show, and I'd love for you to go to their website, banuba.net, BANOOBA.net, and download some of their music. Go find out where they'll be playing live, because that's the best way to experience Banuba. And, of course, you can always buy their music and support them the way they have supported me. And that would be awesome. And don't forget to go to our website, bringyourownlunch.com. Have all the information about all the guests on this show, past, present, and presumably future. You can send me a personal email, dave@bringyourownlunch.com. You can like us on facebook.com/bringyourownlunch. You can follow us on Twitter at BYOL Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at bringyourownlunch. And you can certainly support us in a very simple and free way by going to iTunes or Stitcher and rate, review, subscribe to this show. Tell a friend, let them know what's going on. And we all shine on, so to speak. Stay tuned for Jimmy Jack's Cowpunch Hour, followed by Mansoor and the Fish. And until next week, when I have another great guest lined up, this is Dave. I'll see you next Wednesday.